These are not judges. These are liberal activists who work as judges. They wear the robes of judges, but they are not judges. They are not judging the law. They are there to implement the liberal agenda. Conservatives don't see it that way. They don't see that they're there to implement a conservative agenda. They're there to judge the law. And conservatives think that they are really, really great when they decide cases against themselves, because that proves their fairness and that proves their open-mindedness. The liberal judge doesn't give a rat's rear end what anybody thinks of him, and he certainly doesn't care whether you think he's fair or not. He is there to decide the liberal answer on every case. The liberal decision, the preferred liberal outcome, is the only reason. That is what liberal judicial philosophy is. And so Mr. Horowitz says this is a no-win situation. It simply isn't possible to appoint the right judges. Gorsuch was said to be the epitome, and before him, after him, Kavanaugh, and then Roberts was said to be. And they have all, at one point or another, strayed for whatever reason. We can all come up with our wild guesses as to why. But it is true that when any conservative decides to vote against himself, his party, his movement, be a legislator, a judge, or whatever, well, there's an open-minded guy. We might want to do a Washington Post-style section profile of you. And so Mr. Horowitz believes that it is an abject mistake to even think about winning this battle by finding the right judges. It simply isn't possible because that's not the playing field. Antonin Scalia, remember, in one of the last speeches he gave before he died, do you think the American people would ever have ratified the Constitution if they had been told that the meaning of the Constitution is whatever a majority Supreme Court says it is? That wasn't the deal. That's not in the Constitution. The Supreme Court does not have that authority. They gave it to themselves. The legislative branch let them have it. The question for Trump and conservatives headed forward is where to go from here, now that so many have realized that the minute you agree to the premise of judicial supremacism, that the courts stand above the other branches in deciding fundamentally political questions, that no amount of appointing better judges is going to rectify the situation. The solution is to uproot the concept of judicial supremacism. Now, what that means in this case, the Supreme Court has assigned itself the singular authority to determine what is legal and illegal, what is constitutional and unconstitutional. And all of America has sat by and let it happen. Every June, we wait with bated breath to find out what 9 people, well, we know what 4 of them are going to. The 4 liberals, we never doubt what they're going to say. They're going to come down on the liberal side of every damn thing. So we wait to find out what the 5, in this case, conservative judges are going to do. And when we fall for the trick, because if the court goes our way, there we go, law of the land. Never intended this way. So the judicial branch has supremacy. It's gotten to the point Congress doesn't even write law anymore. Not why they do budgets and stuff, but even that's broken. The budget process is broken. We get a bunch of continuing resolutions, not an annual budget every year. Plus, it's been blown to smithereens by the lockdown, the shutdown of coronavirus. So the legislative branches, they don't write law, and if they do pass legislation, it's gonna depend on whether the Supreme Court approves it years down the line. And we've just sat by and accepted this evolution of the power of the court. Because, in a way, it's easy. How, in a country of 320 people, are you going to get the God answer?